Hey guys, coming at you live from Spokane, Washington. Today is March 11th, 2019, in case you're watching this someplace else. So definitely say hi, tell me where you're from, even if you're watching the replay. Let me make sure this is up and running and working well. Check my other screen. Yep, it says we're live. So very good. I will get started. I won't delay. My screens are backwards, so it's kind of confusing. So, what is a limiting belief? Well, we all have them. Some of us have more than one, some of us have a lot of them. So, limiting belief, I'll just read some of my notes here. Limiting beliefs are the things that we believe about the world, about other people, or even about ourselves, but are not actually true. We have believed these things for so long that they seem like fact, and they have become part of our filter or a view on how we see the world. These beliefs have been formed over many years based on the input from our family, our teachers, our friends, and based on our interpretation of experiences we've had. So it's kind of the general overview of what limiting beliefs are, and that still might be a little bit confusing, but limiting beliefs will definitely hold you back from your goals, hold you back from what you're wanting to achieve in life. I see limiting beliefs pop up all the time. We're talking with clients and helping them reach their health or fitness goals. It's funny, I think they say them and they don't even realize it. So I am working on a project currently, and one of my limiting beliefs is I seem to busy myself with a lot of other things that prevent me from getting that job done. So here's what I put. I personally sat down and did what I suggest to you in just a little bit, and I revealed some limiting beliefs that actually kind of surprised me. So one of them was not enough time, which if I'm keeping myself busy, right, I'm just like finding things to do, keeping myself busy, I'm creating myself no time. Another one was fear of not knowing enough. So that's kind of the reason why I didn't start the group Power Up Basics sooner, because I felt like I didn't know anything. I didn't feel like I had enough value. So that's my own limiting belief as well, that probably is really deep rooted to my childhood, honestly. Fear of not having all the answers. It's another reason why I didn't start Power Up Basic for the longest time. I didn't feel like I would be able to answer questions that came at me, and I didn't feel like I had the authority to do that. So if you're not aware, Power Up Basic is a group here on Facebook, and for many years I didn't start it, and I was encouraged to start it because I went through a pretty big journey, and I didn't start it because I didn't feel like I had all the answers, and now I wish I would have a long time ago. Fear that I will fail. So that big project that I'm working on, I'm terrified of failing. I think we all have that. I don't think that's I think that's all integrated in us. And I just don't think that we want to disappoint anybody. So failure, I think, is probably a pretty common one across the board. Fear of others judging me. Now, some of you may go, who cares what people think? But deep down inside, like, I didn't think that I was going to write that down, but I did. So kind of surprised me. The time didn't surprise me one bit. So limiting beliefs will show up for a resistance of change. And so this big project I'm working on will entail a lot of changes in my life and things that I need to do and modify and adjust, and my family's going to have to adjust. There's going to be a lot of adjustment. So change is scary. So resistance to change is part of where limiting beliefs will pop up. Helplessness in the face of a new challenge. New challenges are always kind of scary. They're new. They're, how is this going to happen? What are the steps? What should I expect? So change is scary. You'll feel helpless. There's also hopelessness about one's ability to do things differently. Again, same thing. Am I going to know enough? Am I going to be able to succeed? Am I going to fail? So most people will feel tension, heaviness, or cold in the body when they're under the influence of a limiting belief. So going through all this that I'm going to go through with you, you might be able to pinpoint some of them. I wouldn't say every time you feel a limiting belief, you'll feel like your temperature rise, your core rise, you know, how you kind of feel like you got hives or whatever. Not every time. I would say that there's like a thermometer. So sometimes you feel it more than others. But after going through this, you might think about it a little bit more, and you'll actually feel your temperature rise and go, oh, that's a limiting belief. Catherine told me about that. So here are some common limiting beliefs, even though I kind of probably talked about a few. So a limiting belief could be, I'm too old for this. Another one could be, I don't know enough. Another one I just mentioned, right? It just popped up. It's what I wrote down. I can't make enough money doing what I love. Now, I know a lot of you have hobbies and a lot of you have things that you absolutely love and you want to turn it into some way of, you know, creating some income so you can do what you love and also make money at the same time. And that is a balancing act that can be pretty difficult. It's a tightrope. So you want it to go from hobby to, you know, generating income. There's a significant difference between the two. Another one is, I don't have enough qualifications. That can hold people back from stepping forward or making changes. I have to work long and hard hours to make the money I want. That's a limiting belief. Some people are afraid to work really hard. Some people are afraid to work more than the 9 to 5 hour time frame. Another one could be, no one will listen to me. Nothing I try ever works. So sometimes people will quit before they even get started, or sometimes they quit right before it turns good. If you know me, you know that I've owned several businesses or been a part of businesses all my life, and businesses are hard. There's struggles, there's feasts, there's famine, there's tears, there's blood, there's sweat. So it is difficult, not easy. I don't deserve it. That one, I think, is probably one you're not going to hear too much. I think that's one that you'll hear in your internal voice inside of your head. Again, that's a limiting belief, those negative things that are bubbling around in your mind, and you may not even say them verbally, but they're there. It's too late. Again, that probably goes back to the age thing. I wouldn't know where to start. That's a limiting belief. There's so much information out there. There's so much material. Whatever it is, you get a coach. There's coaches for everything out there. I have a coach. I talk to her every Friday. And if you're watching, hi. I talk to her every single Friday for an hour, and I love it. It's amazing. I usually talk to her, and the first thing out of my mouth is, I'm so overwhelmed. And she brings the calm to my world and explains what needs to be done right away, gives me kind of an action plan, and off I'm going. And then she checks in with me the following week and says, hey, how did those items go that I told you to take care of first? So coaches are great. Doesn't have to be a health coach, doesn't have to be a fitness coach. It could be, you know, a business coach, whatever it is you're trying to achieve. It doesn't matter. There's coaches for all of it, for everything. I'm not self-motivated. That might just be simply just changing those words around. Could be just totally in your head. Yeah, you might be verbalizing it, but motivation is typically there if you really have motivating factors greater than your list of negatives, right? You've got to want it. If you want it so bad, all the other stuff washes away. I am a procrastinator. Aren't we all? I think we all are. I'm sitting here thinking I need to be working on my taxes right now, but I'm talking to you guys live. So I think we're all a procrastinator at some level. But don't say those things out loud. Don't think those things. If you're thinking those things, stop. Change it around. Say, you know what? Today, instead of procrastinating on this, I am going to do one thing that moves me forward to my goal and do the best I can at it. I have too many responsibilities. Don't we all? Look at your calendar and clear out your calendar. Stop saying yes to stuff. Stop volunteering for stuff. Get off of all those boards. Stop being in charge of things that are meaningless. Let somebody else do that. Clear your calendar. I'm certain that you have time. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think Americans watch, I don't know, terrible amount of TV every week, 14 hours or something like that. There's 14 hours that you could be applying to whatever your dream is. It's never worked before. Well, again, get a coach, get a mentor, get somebody to help you that's been through whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Get help. It's pretty much difficult to do most things alone. Oftentimes, like for me, I've had coaches to get me to my fitness goal. I've had 3 coaches over the years, and I don't think I would have been able to do it without them. It's just so much to learn. Like, the learning curve is just too much. You really need somebody to help you through all the questions that go through your mind and all the stuff that you see on the internet that's flying at you. Try this, do that, take that, try this, wrap that, all this stuff. You need somebody to tell you to stop scrolling through that stuff and stop reading that stuff, because it's just trying to suck your money out of your pocket. I can't get organized is another one. That's probably pretty common. Organization can be difficult for sure if you're not organized, but here's my suggestion: unclutter your world. I know I posted out there on my own personal Facebook, I don't know, a couple weeks ago about how many emails you have in your email. I think the biggest one was like 20,000. I don't know, definitely over 11,000. It was huge. The numbers were huge, and that's crazy. That to me is a lot of clutter. That alone would drive me crazy. The little red bubbles on my phone would drive me crazy. I have all my notifications turned off. I know what I need to look at every day, and I just time block it. Just like when I have to eat, I time block it. I know I have a routine and a rhythm throughout my day. But things need to be uncluttered, including my desk, my car, my email, all these things. It helps me stay organized. I'm not confident. Confidence is a hard one to dredge up, but I can tell you I've also felt unconfident in my life at certain periods, and pretty much what I had to do is put my big girl panties on and move forward. So, and find my confidence and build my confidence. And a lot of that was doing things that scared me. And one of those is getting on stage, wearing a bikini. You do find your confidence, you do find your strength, and it's an incredible process. So it's selfish to put myself first. This is a really big one for women, I think, definitely for men as well. But we as women, as moms, mothers, especially homemakers, we put everybody before ourselves. I see it a lot with people that I work with, that they have just pretty much let themselves go. They're eating very little, consuming copious amounts of soda or coffee, or things that are just really not good for their bodies, and their body is aching. But it is important to put yourself first. I'm too busy. I don't know if that was a repeat, but actually I think that was from me earlier, right? So I'm too busy, yeah, but I create my own madness. I have learned I need to like calm it down, but I still have to work on it. That's a daily thing. All right, so where do limiting beliefs come from? Kind of noted on it earlier. So while doing the work to uncover these beliefs can sometimes be painful, it might bring back some deep childhood feelings or memories. It has for me, because I've had some sessions where I've done some really deep diving on my limiting beliefs, and it is kind of scary what you kind of like remember from your childhood. So a lot of limiting beliefs are deep in your subconscious. Our brains are very efficient and are very good at establishing patterns of behavior. So once these beliefs get in our head, we start to form patterns or behavior around them and then reinforce them, right? So we're always looking for evidence that the belief is true, further deepening into our subconscious. Okay, so until you overcome your limiting beliefs, it can often feel like you are endlessly treading in deep water, repeating the same patterns over and over. And dieting is a great example of that. Losing some weight, gaining it back, losing some weight, and gaining it back. Every time you lose weight, you're losing muscle. Every time you're losing muscle, your metabolism is going down. Your metabolic engine is getting smaller. You need your metabolic engine to burn your fat. I'm telling you guys, gotta join Power Up Premium. I will teach you. So your subconscious, there often is an inner conflict that occurs when one part of us wants change. So like our conscious wants change, right? What we think, we want change. We want to look sexy. We want to look hot. We want to look great in that swimsuit. We want to get back in that size 10 pair of jeans. Whatever it is you want to do, that's your conscious. But the other part, the subconscious, the deep stuff, the childhood stuff, the stuff that's deep rooted, doesn't want to change because it believes that change is not good for us. Our bodies are designed to survive, and change is unknown and scary. So I'm going to tell you a story. Going back to first grade, envision yourself in art class. The assignment is to color in a picture of a tree on a hill. You make these trees pink with purple polka dots, and you didn't like the shape of the tree, so you colored in an extra set of pink leaves outside of the lines. You made the grass a mixture of blue and green because you thought it would look pretty cool. You were proud of your picture. When turning it into the teacher looks at it and says, well, this is different. It's not like anyone else's drawing, but it's creative. So how do you hear this statement? Or how do you, at first grade, you're probably, 7? What is your 7-year-old self thinking? Creative? Honestly, it would have a lot to do with how your household is. In her tone, obviously. And you're young and you're still trying to figure out all the cues of human being interaction, tone and voice and reflection and, but I think it really has a lot to do with how you were raised. But are you proud that your art is unique and creative, or do you think it's awful because it is so different and maybe being creative is a bad thing? So your 6 or 7-year-old self hears this, depends on what belief you had in place already. Is being creative, was it a good thing? Often this stems from our home life. No matter how you hear this comment from your teacher, it reinforces your original belief and goes on to affect how you filter future experiences in life. So each experience builds on the last, and you develop your own personal lens through which you view and interpret the world. Some of these beliefs help you, others will hold you back. So this is where limiting beliefs come in. So they create a lens or a filter to which you start to see your lives or others' lives. It could be right, it could be wrong. This lens or filter can keep you stuck in life, limiting thoughts or patterns. Believing these limits, we continue to live within the confines of them, further fulfilling the limiting belief, which helps create our reality. The limiting beliefs then create patterns of self-sabotage. So our limiting beliefs are so much a part of us that it's often difficult to determine what exactly they are. How can you correct these beliefs? But first, you have to identify them. I do have some exercises for you to do. The first one is probably a pretty good one. I think I like the second one better, but the first one you can give a try. It's called the daydreaming exercise. So pick a topic, any topic, but preferably something that you're wanting to make a change in your life, a goal or an accomplishment. You want to achieve it probably in the near future. For example, you could choose a daydream about running like a half marathon, or maybe buying a car that you've always wanted, or losing 20 pounds. So what you'll do is you'll find a quiet place where you can sit without any interruptions, no phone, no computer, no nothing, and then start thinking about actually achieving this goal. Listen to all the thoughts that make you feel nervous or afraid, make your stomach turn or get, that feeling I was talking about. Feel a little warm inside. Listen to the thoughts that you're telling yourself and why, the ones that tell you that it's so ridiculous and why it will never happen. Think very carefully about each of the negative thoughts that come up and stop you from going after this goal. The negative thoughts are your limiting beliefs. So next, pretend that your best friend wants to achieve the same goal, wants to run the half marathon, wants to buy a new fancy car, wants to lose 20 pounds. How would you talk to her? How would you encourage her? What would you warn her about? Listen to these thoughts in the same way. How are these different? How are these the same? What does this tell you about your beliefs? All right, so here's another one. This is the one I like. This is the one that I did personally. So this exercise is actually very similar to the first one, but a little bit more in depth. We'll start by picking your goal, just like before. Listen to the same thoughts as you're daydreaming, like you did in the daydreaming exercise, but write down all the thoughts that you have. So that's what I did. I wrote down my big goal at the top of the paper, and I just sat there and just kept writing. So then what you do is write down anything you can think of that would stop you from achieving that goal. Write down any reasons that you think you might not actually want the goal, or any doubts about yourself and abilities. That could be about losing weight too, guys. Keep writing as long as you can, even if you feel like what you're writing sounds completely ridiculous. Then put it aside. Do this exercise every day for a week. I didn't do it every day for a week. I just did it once, but you can do it for a whole week without going back. So don't look at your previous days. Just keep doing it every day. At the end of the week, go back and review everything that you have written. What line of thinking is emerging as your biggest reservation? Can you see a pattern in beliefs or thinking that keep you from really reaching this goal? You're probably saying the same things over and over again. There's also another exercise. It's called the coffee talk exercise. So grab a cup of coffee or even a glass of wine. Wine might be good too, or definitely stick with one glass. And talk to someone that is a good listener. This could be your coach. It could be your sister. It could be your best friend. But be sure to pick someone that you trust, that you know can be honest with you, and who has the ability to really listen. Share your goal with them. Tell them everything that excites you about this idea, and then share everything that scares you about pursuing it. What do you feel are the things that could cause you to fail to achieve this goal? Ask your friend to jot down everything that they hear, the reasons that you believe you are unable and unlikely to achieve this goal. Ask them to note what you're talking about when you get the most emotional. So like if there's something that jumps out at them, like your voice changes, or you get like maybe even a little emotional, have them put a star by it. Then ask them to tell you why they feel this goal for you is a good or a bad idea. So we want their opinion. What are the things that you agree with? What are the points that you disagree with? If you feel really strong reaction to some of the statements, pay attention to that, like how you feel. Like if they say something like, I really don't think you can achieve this goal because whatever. And if you feel defensive and you get warm under the collar, take note of that reaction. All right, so then look over the notes and areas where you were resistant. And this will point out to your limiting beliefs. The areas you felt warm or uncomfortable are also a good indicator. What emotional areas did your support person point out? All right, so we got one last one, I'm pretty sure. The inspiring person exercise. All right, so think about somebody that has actually achieved the goal that you're looking for. Someone that you really admire, but believe you could never achieve yourself. Write down all the reasons why you believe that you could never have achieved that same goal. Write down what you imagine that person's beliefs were. What did they have to do that you don't? Examine the differences between you and that person. Many of the differences that you see will be an example of your own limiting beliefs. We often believe that people who have done something we admire had more resources than we do. And sometimes they do, but most often they don't. We often imagine them to be smarter than we are or more creative. This can go along with weight loss, guys, too. When you feel that you're not good enough to accomplish something, you can be certain that there is a limiting belief lurking behind that thought somewhere. Sometimes you will find that there is an area that you just need a little more training or development, or maybe even a support system for, like a coach. All right, so self-limiting. Even if you have the perfect goal setting system and you are very disciplined, you will definitely have a hard time reaching your goals. And the reason is that you, like all of us, have limiting beliefs that keep you from living the life that you desire. So until you have sorted out all the beliefs that stop you from reaching your goal, it will be really hard, if not impossible, to reach your goal. So you really need to identify these. These exercises are easy, guys. You should try them. What if you don't have any limiting beliefs? Well, sorry, we all do. But most of them are not aware of, most of us are not actually aware of them. So just like me, I had no idea. Like I thought I had one. That's by definition because because they work on a subconscious level. So we're not conscious of them. Remember, they're deep inside of us. All right, so limiting beliefs are there to protect us. So they're there for a good reason. They're trying to keep us in a comfort zone. They want us to keep safe and avoid risk. So you guys, life has no limitations except for the ones that you make. No matter how good you are, you will have some setbacks, no doubt. And that is limiting beliefs as well. So things like this could pop up in your mind. So whenever you do have a setback, these thoughts might come to your head, or actually you might even say them out loud. But things like, I told you so. This would never work. It's never worked in the past. Why would it now? What a fool you were to think in the first place that you could accomplish this. Stop humiliating yourself and stop trying to achieve these ridiculous goals. You're never going to be a success. Those are limiting beliefs. Those are stopping you from achieving your goals. That is all negative self-talk, right? Have you ever had these negative self-talks? I do. Or perhaps you often say these things out loud. Often this comes from how we were raised, and it might seem normal to think or speak this way, but it isn't. It's holding you back from success, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in life. Needless to say, this can ruin your confidence as well. And confidence is essential for taking on tough challenges and achieving goals. It's as simple as that. No confidence, no goals completed. So here's a couple of common specific weight loss limiting beliefs. One would be, I'm not athletic. Everybody in my family is fat. My genes are fat. It's a scientific fact that fat doesn't disappear. They only shrink. Once I got fat, I remain fat. I can't have a six-pack abs without suffering in the gym. I can't have the body without starving. So these are all I can'ts. They're all limiting beliefs. If you want, and you're watching this not live, you're watching the replay, you can definitely pause this and take your time and do any of these exercises that you wish, or write this down currently. Write down your goal or your achievement on a blank piece of paper, right on the top. Write down the actions needed to accomplish this goal. Write down what it will feel like to accomplish this goal. So your beliefs will determine your way of thinking. Your thinking leads to action or non-action, right? What actions you do or don't take lead you to the results. But if you reverse that order, So your results will identify what actions that you need to actually take. And your actions recognize what thinking led them there, right? So based on your awareness of your thinking, you can become aware of your limiting beliefs. It's kind of interesting to look at it that way. It's kind of like, how do I lose weight? Or how do I get that job? You know, you kind of like backwards plan. How to remove limiting beliefs. It's not a surgery, guys. It is a little bit difficult, but bear with me. You can't really remove limiting beliefs without a little bit of struggle. You can replace them with positive beliefs that will support your goals and the results you want to have in your life. The first step, and the most important thing, is to become aware of what your limiting beliefs are, which, if you've done any of the exercises that I've told you today, you will figure those out. But also take note when they're popping up in your mind. Catch yourself when you're thinking these negative thoughts. So after you write down your goal on a blank piece of paper, write down the 5 things that you know that would stop you from reaching your goal. Some examples could be, I can't do this because I have no time. I can't do this because my family won't support me. That's kind of, and I can't, right? There's another one. I have tried and failed so many times. I'm too old. This hasn't worked in the past and it won't work now because whatever. Final step. The final step is to replace these limiting beliefs with supporting ones. So write down positive replacement statements on a different piece of paper and reread them daily. Get rid of the other piece of paper with all the negative stuff, right? Keep the good one. If you find yourself stuck and not moving forward towards your goal, repeat this exercise again. It's possible that new limiting beliefs have crept in. So some examples of the opposite of what I just stated just a moment ago, well, because there were like I can't statements. So these would be the opposite of them. I can do this because I want this more than anything. This time is different and I will not give up. It's never too late. I'm ready to start now. I will do things differently this time and make success inevitable. If you repeat them often enough, they will replace limiting beliefs with positive affirmations and lead you to success. It's like installing a new operating system in your mind. All right, guys, if you are watching this video, I encourage you to look up Power Up Basic on Facebook if you're not already part of our community. We discuss a lot of goals, challenges. Individuals in the group also post great questions that you might even have on your mind. I would love to help you get unstuck and make some changes in your life. We offer premium membership as well every month, the 1st through the 7th, and you get a little bit more interaction from me, personally monitoring what you eat and nudging you along, giving you the tools to help you reach your fitness goal. Definitely share this video if it's something that you think others would enjoy or be inspired by. But make sure you think about what you think. Listen to the voice in your head. Ignore the messages that don't serve you and replace them with positive beliefs. Really listen to your body. Where there's tension, there's often an influence of a limiting belief. Let me know if I can support you. Comment below. Definitely join our group. And I'm going to double check and see if you guys have any questions on the live. Hey! Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of people on. See, and I thought I was talking to myself. Hey guys. Yay! Oh wow, we got a lot of you on tonight. Hello! We got Anchorage. We got some people from Alaska. Yay! The sweet tooth. That's a great question. That sweet tooth is tough. We got to replace it with something else. Something that doesn't entail food. We can help you with that. Sometimes it has to do with stress. We need to figure out what's triggering that. We need to make sure your food is on point. Sometimes simply adding more protein to your diet will help curb that sweet tooth. So, yay, guys! I can't see all the comments. It kind of fades out. It's kind of strange. But thank you for tuning in. I am going to post this in the group, and I'm going to post it up on YouTube as well. But thank you for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for you today. Try to get a hold of those limiting beliefs. We all have them. I was surprised at what I had. Get it all written down. It's amazing what happens when you write stuff down. I know we all type a lot and voice text and all these different things, but and maybe even that would work. But I honestly think writing it all out on old-fashioned paper and pen might bring up some stuff that would surprise you. So, well, great. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. I think that's it for tonight, guys. So thank you so much. And I believe in you guys. I'm here to support you. Please join Power Up Basic, and you have a great Monday night.